behaviour we're going to do is a hold. Now, to do a hold, you must have already done the advanced touch techniques. It'll take a little while to see, because the first way of teaching a hold, we're not going to use those touch techniques, but the second way, the more effective way, you will need to have a really secure touch from your dog, and they will need to know what they're doing with that touch on a different object 100% and be absolutely rock solid with it, because we're going to start adding some resistance to it. So we need them to not be second guessing or questioning that behaviour. So if you don't already have an advanced touch, go back to the advanced touch video. If you don't even have a touch onto the hand, please refer back to the puppy training video, which will give you a really good breakdown on how to teach that touch. So for the hold, as I said, there are two ways of doing it. The first, if your dog will do it, is have something you know that they're going to take in their mouth from you. So in this case, I know Ocean's always going to take a tennis ball from me. So all we're going to do is put that on cue. So we hold it out. Hold. Good. So I know she's going to put it in her mouth. Well, as soon as she puts it in her mouth, she gets asked to hold, and that's her doing the whole behaviour. So all we're doing, capturing it. So as soon as she does put it in her mouth, we tell her she's good, and we give her a treat. Hold. Good. It's done too many touches. Hold. Good. Hold. Good. Then we should start being able to put the word hold before she's put it in her mouth. She'll start to understand that the hold is her taking it in her mouth. Hold. Good. Hold. Good. Hold. Good. Now, when you've got that hold, you can start asking her to do it not only from your hand, but from the floor as well. Hold. Good. And you'll see that we're starting to build up that retrieve. Hold. Good. Well done. So that's a nice easy way of doing one type of hold, and then you need to start proofing it with lots of other behaviours, lots of other objects, sorry, once she knows that behaviour on the one tennis ball. The other way we're going to do it is using that touch technique. So another random object. So Ocean's really good with a hold in general, so I've had to use really random objects I don't think she'll like holding to give you a really good demo. So this is a horrible slippery bottle that she wouldn't ever normally be allowed to hold. So hopefully you'll get a really good idea of how we're going to do it. So I'm going to hold this out and I'm going to ask her to touch, and then once she's touched it, and she's touched it a few times, we're going to withhold that treat until she really puts her mouth around. She should start getting a little bit frustrated, and she'll either start touching a bit harder or a bit longer, and they might just go, oh, I'm going to take it from you. That's when you need to get that good in. Good. See how she's just gingerly putting her mouth around it? Good. So she's not entirely sure yet this is exactly what I want her to do. Good. She's not taking it from me. Good. See, then she offered a touch, I just waited her out, and then she offered that hold again. Hold. Good. So now I can start adding that cue in, because I'm pretty sure she's going to put it in her mouth. Hold. Good. And that is how you use a touch to get the hold. Hold. Yes. So all you need to do, remember of this one, is you do need, it's going to where it gets a bit hard, to have them a little bit frustrated by it. So you need to know they know what that touch is. You need to know that touch is 100% solid before you can start asking them to get more frustrated about it, because if they aren't so sure on the touch, they'll just stop offering a touch and start offering different behaviours altogether, or get frustrated or just leave the room. So you need them to know that they're doing it correctly, and then they'll just be like, well, why haven't you given me that treat yet? I'm going to try harder, which is where you want them to get to. Hold. Good. Now once again, just like the tennis ball, we're going to start putting it on the floor, so they're actually starting to hold away from us. Hold. Yes. And as you can see, once again, we're building up the beginnings of a retrieve. Hold. Yes. hold. Yeah, so you see this is quite a difficult one I have to do. So have a go at that, 2 to 3 minutes, let me see it. If you're using the touch technique, I need to see the touch one. I need to have seen the touch one before you send the retrieve one in. And once you are doing it, I again need to see how you're allowing them to get that little bit frustrated and go for it. If they're just wandering off, you need to go back and do lots and lots more touches with that. It can be an odd one for dogs to do. It might not be the way they decide to get frustrated about it by just putting their mouth around it. In which case we might need to think of other things. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing a bit of both. Doing some that they're putting their mouths by themselves, and some where you're teaching them with something that they wouldn't normally do. Make it as easy as possible. Do not start with a slippery, horrible bottle. Start with one of their toys. Start with an actual dumbbell type object that's the right size for their mouth. Something like a brachycephalic dog, so your pugs and your French bulldogs, your English bulldogs, they're not going to be able to put everything in their mouth. It's going to be, some things are going to be harder for them than others, so please make sure it's an appropriate toy or object that you're using. Try and make it easy for them. They need to get this right to be able to learn. If they get it wrong too many times, they're just going to check out. So just make it as easy as possible. You saw me start with the tennis ball for her because I knew she was going to be able to pick up the tennis ball. The only reason I'm using something a bit harder for her is that it would be too easy. It wouldn't actually show you the steps that you need to take. She is a very good at retrieving because she's a retriever. So you'd hope that that's what she'd be good at. So have a go at that. If you're worried or you're not sure if you're going to have the appropriate object, just drop me a line first and ask. Let me know what your dog is. Let me know what object you're planning on using, the different sizes. Send me photos, send me videos, whatever it is that you need to do to try and get it right, because this is a really, really important one. If you can get them to hold things, you can start with retrieves. You can literally be doing anything, which is what we will go on to in the next video.